Have you ever wondered how a simple number can reflect your essence and tell the story of a life? It's quite intriguing, isn't it? The last digit of your birth year might seem like just a small detail, but what lies behind this symbol? A number that floats in the emptiness of time, subtly and profoundly influencing your emotional experiences, connections, and interpretations of reality. We live in an age where disconnection appears to be a constant. The quest for individuality, masked by the pressure to fit in, creates a void that echoes in our emotions. Feeling out of tune with your identity is a silent pain, an invisible burden that accumulates in the depths of your soul. The last digit of your birth isn't merely a figure, it's a reflection of your personal destiny. It carries the essence of your emotions and the narrative of your life, like an echo that never fades away. Think about it. There's a reason why you find yourself drawn to certain paths and pushed away from others. That number, which may seem trivial, is a vital component of your story. It's connected to archetypes that shape your emotional journey, creating a cycle of experiences that reveal who we truly are beneath the surface. And perhaps at this moment, you feel lost in this quest. You have reactions, emotions, and stories that often go unexpressed. Your internal struggle with the need to be seen and understood, that feeling of being an echo chamber for others' emotions, is an invitation to reflection. What if we took a closer look at this number? Recognizing it as a key to self-understanding, a prompt to dive into introspection, I invite you to reflect. How has this last digit influenced your life so far? What patterns emerge when you consider this connection? As you ponder this question, I encourage you to share your thoughts on the influence of numbers in your life in the comments. After all, each number carries a story, an energy waiting to be unveiled. Do you feel it? That empty echo whispering among your memories, reflecting a loneliness that sometimes takes the form of a simple number. The last digit of your birth year. You might say it's a symbol, but what weight does this figure truly carry? Is it an anchor, or perhaps a chain, holding you back from who you once were? Think about it. Life often finds itself immersed in the shadow of disconnection. We face an internal struggle. Every step we take can feel like a solitary walk down a deserted path. The quest for individuality, embedded in archetypes we often fail to understand, leads us to a place of isolation. The need to fit into pre-established patterns becomes an overwhelming demand, a silent pressure that makes us feel like we're merely echoing voices that aren't our own, but rather reflecting our fears and desires. When we look at the last digit of our birth, we're confronted not just with a number, but with a fragment of our own journey. It resonates with untold stories, those emotions that pile up within us and sometimes become too heavy to bear. Your reactions, insecurities, and silences are invitations to reflect. Have you ever stopped to consider that this disconnection isn't a personal failure, but a consequence of the weight you carry? Recognizing this is the first step toward liberation. It's about learning to listen to your own essence amidst the noise that surrounds us. By embracing this echo deep within you, you might also discover a path forward, one that doesn't have to be lonely. True strength doesn't need to shout. Often, it speaks in gentle whispers, revealing hidden truths. At this moment, I invite you to reflect. How has this last digit shaped your experiences? What patterns emerge when you analyze this connection? The silence that follows this question may be the space you need to start listening to yourself again. In this pursuit of connection and understanding, remember that needing peace is not a weakness. It's a sign of maturity. You might look around you and think that disconnection is a permanent state, a reality fixed in your life. But let me pose a question, and don't underestimate it. Could the turbulence in your life be merely a reflection of your inner resistance? This question resonates more profoundly when we confront the emptiness that we often inherit. Disconnection isn't a death sentence for your essence. It's an opportunity for renewal, an invitation to reevaluate what lies hidden beneath the surface. When we encounter intense emotions, there's a natural tendency to retreat. In fact, This avoidance can mask the very traits of resistance that shape our journey. It's not just about what weighs us down, but also about what inflames us through the silent grief of unprocessed experiences. You may find yourself as an echo chamber for the feelings of others, yet also as a silent observer of what you haven't yet allowed yourself to experience. This resistance transforms into an emotional dilemma where your authenticity is put to the test. In this space, I invite you to pause and listen. Listen not only to the noise from the outside, but also to the whisper within. Sometimes we are so afraid to confront our shadows that we hide them in the deep recesses of our psyche, failing to realize that doing so only creates an even larger void. You are not alone in this maze. We all carry our shadows, but we also possess the clarity to choose how we inhabit them. Look once more at that last digit of your birth. What does it evoke in you? What memories and patterns emerge when you allow yourself to feel? Sometimes, the silence that follows a question is the most revealing part of the conversation. Loneliness can become an opportunity for rediscovery. True strength doesn't need to shout. It can whisper the truths that have never been uttered. Be gentle with yourself. Acknowledging the need for peace isn't a sign of weakness. It's a mark of maturity. This is the key that opens the door to true emotional freedom. You've already taken the first step just by contemplating this. It's time to look into the reflections of turbulent waters and clearly see what they reveal. Not just your exterior, but the riches that reside within you. Remember, you are not your feelings. You are the consciousness that observes them. Have you ever noticed how certain numbers seem to speak to your soul? Could that last digit of your birth year be more than just a hazy detail from the past? It may well be the key to understanding who you truly are. It's a symbol that resonates through your emotions, your relationships, and your life experiences. How do you connect with yourself amidst these complex webs of feelings? Often, the sense of disconnection can feel overwhelming. It's as if you are navigating through a turbulent sea, unsure whether you'll find a safe harbor or get pulled under by the currents of insecurity. The last digit of your birth can serve as an anchor, but it might also become a weight that limits your movement. It reflects not only your desires, but also the emotional labyrinths you traverse. What have you done to transform it into a force for change? How many times have you felt like an echo chamber for the feelings of others? You hear their pains, but struggle to find your own path. The number at the end of your birth year can mirror these cycles. It carries the archetypes of experiences you bear, often shaping your identity unconsciously. But you are not trapped by it. Recognizing your deepest emotions is an essential step. Looking at that last digit means facing truths that might be uncomfortable, yet liberating. Do you ever wonder what patterns you hold onto that could be reevaluated and transformed? This is the invitation. Confront your shadows, explore them, and listen to what they have to say. They are not enemies. They are allies on the road to authenticity. Allow yourself to be touched by vulnerability. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's the courage to confront what resides within you. Silence often carries answers. Have you taken that step? Look deep within your essence and let every emotion be a stroke of a painting yet to be created. True strength doesn't need to shout. Sometimes it simply whispers, revealing truths and illuminating the labyrinths of consciousness. So, I invite you to reflect. How does the last digit of your birth influence your daily experiences? What labyrinth are you ready to explore? The path to self-discovery begins here, because you are not just a number. You are a story that deserves to be told in all its complexity and beauty. Have you ever felt a storm brewing inside you? That chaotic sensation, where emotions swirl like dark clouds in the sky. It's in that space, between the sound of thunder and the silence that follows, where we find ourselves. Recognizing our traumas is a challenging transformation. It's a turning point that can be intimidating, but at the same time, it offers a window into self-awareness. Many of us experience this internal struggle, that pressure to be accepted, to fit in, to not be just another echo in others' conversations. When we look at the last digit of our birth year, we don't just see a figure, we glimpse a part of our truth. This number serves as a guide, a compass pointing toward the deep experiences that shape who we are, reflecting our vulnerabilities and inner strength. Master Shaolin, Shi Heng reminds us that in our inner storm, it is the silence of wisdom that can lead us. This silence is not empty. It is filled with truths. True strength doesn't need to shout. Often it whispers, revealing what's hidden in the shadows of our soul. This recognition is an invitation to introspection. Instead of fearing discomfort, what if you embraced it? What if every emotion, every burden, is an opportunity for rebirth? Look at your scars. What do they hide? The moment you allow yourself to feel deeply, even in silence, it shouts, you are capable of transformation. Each unease is a step toward resilience, towards self-knowledge. I invite you to reflect. How has this number influenced your experiences so far? How does it shape your responses to the storms you face? Self-discovery is a journey filled with winding roads. But that's where the beauty lies. You are not merely a product of your past. You are the consciousness that observes everything around you. Silence speaks too, and sometimes it heals. It's in accepting vulnerability that we find the strength to move forward. What will you choose to become in the next storm that arises on your path? Echoes of silence. Have you ever paused to listen to what silence has to say? After the tumult of emotions and the busyness of everyday life, it's in this empty space that we can reconnect. Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's an invitation to dive deep within ourselves. It's where our most profound truths await discovery. It's easy to get lost in the confusion of external voices, in the pressure to be heard, understood, and accepted. Many of us navigate this journey feeling the pain of disconnection, as if we are floating in a sea of others' feelings. Silence, however, offers refuge. It challenges us to hear what truly matters, our own essence. How do you feel when you quiet your mind? What emerges in that space? Repressed emotions, hidden desires, patterns that weigh us down. This moment of introspection can be a turning point. The most significant transformations often happen where we least expect them, in our ability to welcome silence, accepting it as a friend that guides us back to ourselves. When we reflect on the last digit of our birth, we see a symbol echoing through the silence. It can serve as a starting point for a journey of self-discovery, an anchor that keeps us steady while we explore the depths of our being. It's an opportunity to reassess the cycles we perpetuate, to understand the fears that bind us and the passions that drive us. What if, by looking at this number, we could rewrite our story? The solidity of silence allows us to relive and redefine our experiences. What are you hearing when you quiet your mind? This is the invitation, the chance to listen to the echoes of your heart. The path to authenticity begins in the subtlety of silence, where true strength doesn't need to shout. Sometimes it merely whispers, revealing the light that has always been within you. How many times has loneliness settled within you, like a distant echo resonating with those unspoken truths? It's a paradox, isn't it? What should be fertile ground for identity often turns into a barren field of disconnection. As we seek our individuality, we encounter the fragility of belonging. The last digit of your birth year might seem like a trivial detail, but exploring it reveals its undeniable influence on every joy and pain you've experienced. It acts like a conductor orchestrating the symphony of your life, where each note carries the weight of your experiences and traumas. Diving into this number isn't merely a curiosity, it's a deep investigation into how your emotions and reactions reflect the patterns you carry. Often, the pressure to conform to an external narrative consumes us, making us echo the feelings of others. Do you feel that weight? That sensation that your emotional responses don't really belong to you, but are rooted in a need for acceptance and understanding? This struggle for genuine expression, for not getting lost in a sea of expectations, is an invitation to introspection. What if, instead of running away, you allowed yourself to feel? The complexity of being human unfolds in the shadows of unprocessed emotions. Your vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, it's a bridge to authenticity. The silence that follows this reflection might be just what you need to listen to yourself again. Sometimes, acknowledging that pain is part of your journey is the first step toward transformation. Take another look at that last digit. Ask yourself, what new stories am I ready to tell from the wounds I've faced? In that space, you're not just clinging to the past, you're rewriting your future. Remember, you are not what you feel. You are the consciousness that observes those emotions, the sacred space where transformation can happen. On this path of self-discovery, allow yourself the freedom to be. Silence, often undervalued, is a gift, a chance to be reborn. Amid the noise of external voices, your true self is waiting to be heard. Have you ever noticed that behind the simple power of a number, like the last digit of your birth year, lies a universe of meanings that defines much more than just a minor detail of your identity? When we look at this number, we don't just see a cold statistic. It becomes a source of self-exploration, an urgent invitation to introspection and discovery. It echoes the resonances of a new era that you are striving to understand. In a world that often feels disconnected, we frequently lose ourselves in the search to understand who we are, to find our place in this chaotic dance of life. The feelings of disconnection and loneliness can become a heavy burden as we navigate the dilemma of excessive empathy and the internal struggle between wanting to be seen and the ability to express our own reality. This is where the last digit of your birth transforms into a symbol of change. In this safe space for reflection, I ask you, how will you embrace what has emerged from this journey? What steps have you taken to navigate through these experiences that resonate within you? Master Shaolin Shi Heng reminds us that the path is not the destination, but the wisdom we cultivate along the way. This truth challenges us to view life not as a cycle of conflicts, but as fertile ground for our evolution. At this moment, there is a powerful possibility for you. By allowing these experiences to reveal themselves, even when they are painful, you can truly begin to listen to them. Spiritual transformation doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes, it blossoms in the small moments of authenticity. You are not alone on this path. Each of us carries a weight, but we also hold a light that longs to shine. As you look closely at that last digit, recognize it as a guide in your experiences. Full of intensity, it may reflect what you truly need to hear. True strength doesn't have to shout. Often, it whispers, uncovering hidden truths that are ready to be discovered. The choice is yours, to remain in the shadows or to step into the light of clarity. Are you ready to hear what this number has to say to you? Have you ever paused to reflect on the whispers of your heart? Amidst the noise of daily life, it often feels like our inner voice gets drowned out, leaving us disconnected from our true desires and the last word of the heart is not merely an expression, it's an invitation to explore the depths of our emotions and the stories they tell. In a world overwhelmed by distractions and competing voices, finding clarity within ourselves can be a challenge. We tend to prioritize external opinions over our inner truths, constantly seeking validation from others. Yet deep down, we know that true fulfillment comes from honoring our authentic selves. So, what does your heart yearn to express? Are there dreams you've tucked away, thoughts you've been too afraid to share? It's essential to create a space where you can listen, truly listen, to that quiet yet profound voice within. By doing so, you can start to uncover layers of your identity that may have been obscured by doubt and fear. As we navigate through life, it's inevitable that we will face challenges and setbacks. However, these moments can serve as catalysts for growth. The last word of the heart is often forged in the fires of adversity, teaching us resilience and strength. Instead of shying away from difficult emotions, we can embrace them as part of our journey. Take a moment to breathe and check in with yourself. What feelings arise when you think about following your heart? It can be daunting, but remember, every step taken towards self-discovery is a victory. It's in these small acts of courage that we find our voice and reclaim our narrative. Let's reflect on the stories we've built throughout our lives. Are they truly ours, or have they been shaped by societal expectations and the influence of others? The last word of the heart encourages us to rewrite those stories, to infuse them with authenticity and meaning. In this journey, honor your emotions. They are valid and deserve to be expressed. Whether it's joy, sadness, uncertainty, or hope, each feeling holds a lesson. Allow yourself the freedom to explore these emotions without judgment. As you venture forward, carry the notion that your heart's voice matters. You have the power to define what resonates with you and what you want to share with the world. The last word of the heart can be a proclamation of love, truth, or adventure. Whatever it may be, let it sing. In this moment, I invite you to close your eyes and visualize your heart's desires. What do you see? What do you hear? Trust in the process and be ready to act on what your heart reveals. It's time to listen, to speak, and to embrace the beauty of being truly alive. Your heart has so much to say. Are you ready to hear it? In a world ruled by haste, have you ever found yourself frozen in front of a simple number? The last digit of your birth year is an underestimated guide, a silent key that can unlock internal doors. This number isn't just a detail. It resonates like a symphony echoing throughout your history, reflecting your experiences, your struggles, and above all, your hopes. When you look at this symbol, you might ask yourself, how does it shape what you live today? This shared experience, this dance between emotions and numbers, highlights an uncommon truth. The weight we often feel within us, the disconnection, the loneliness, is not an accident, but rather the result of carrying unspoken truths. We can be an echo chamber, reverberating the feelings of others, or we can be the original melody. The first step towards self-discovery is to recognize this symbolic influence. It takes courage to touch on those open wounds and ask, how does this number teach me about who I am? The reality is that many of us encounter a paradox. While we seek our uniqueness, we often lose ourselves in the maze of external expectations, suffocating our essence. Every emotion we experience, every interaction we have, carries the direction of our internal activism. Do you find yourself drawn to situations that uplift you, or do you fade under the weight of others? Acknowledging this is vital. Now, here's the big question. How will you react to all of this? The answer doesn't lie in noise, but in the penetrating silence that follows awareness. This is the echo that heals. Each time you quiet your mind, you can hear the whisper of your true self. Instead of fearing your vulnerability, embrace it. Because while the world shouts, your soul whispers, guiding you back to your roots. No one can define who you are. That choice is solely yours. If this journey has touched your heart, share this genuine message with someone special who also needs to hear these truths.